Chike and Amaka had been inseparable for years. Their love blossomed in the small town of Umweka, where they shared dreams of a future filled with happiness. Amaka, a simple and kind-hearted woman, loved Chike deeply. She believed in his ambitions, supported his dreams, and stood by him even when times were hard. Chike, on the other hand, was ambitious and eager to escape poverty. He wanted more than the life the town offered, and when he met Adeoa, the beautiful daughter of a wealthy businessman, his heart wavered. The temptation of wealth, luxury, and status clouded his judgment, making him see Amaka as a burden rather than a blessing. One evening, after much contemplation, Chike made a painful decision. He told Amaka that he no longer loved her and wanted to end their relationship. Amaka, heartbroken and confused, begged for an explanation, but Chike was firm. Without knowing she was carrying his child, he walked away, leaving her in tears. Days turned into weeks, and Amaka struggled to heal from the heartbreak. It was then that she noticed changes in her body, dizziness, nausea, and an unexplainable tiredness. A visit to the village nurse confirmed her fears. She was pregnant. Tears filled her eyes as she thought of Chike. Would he have stayed if he had known? She wanted to tell him, but pride and pain held her back. Instead, she resolved to raise the child alone, drawing strength from her faith and the love she already felt for the baby growing inside her. Meanwhile, Chike was living his dream life in the city with Adeoa. He enjoyed the wealth, the luxury, and the endless social events, never once thinking about Amaka or the possibility that he had left behind more than just a broken heart. Amaka's pregnancy journey was difficult. She faced rejection, judgment, and loneliness. Her parents were disappointed, but they did not abandon her. With their support, she continued working at the local market, selling vegetables to make ends meet. Despite the hardships, she found joy in feeling the baby kick, reminding her that she was never truly alone. She vowed to give her child the best life possible, even if it meant enduring the whispers and disapproving looks from the townspeople. Back in the city, Chike was beginning to see the cracks in his seemingly perfect life. Adeoa was not the loving partner he had imagined. She was controlling, selfish, and uninterested in his dreams. The warmth he once knew with Amaka was missing, but he convinced himself he had made the right choice. Chike's relationship with Adeoa became strained. She saw him as a project to mold, constantly reminding him that he was lucky to have her. The love he thought he had found was nothing but an illusion. He started reminiscing about his days with Amaka, her kindness, her laughter, the way she believed in him. One day, while scrolling through his phone, he stumbled upon an old picture of them. A deep sadness washed over him. Had he made a mistake? But it was too late now. Or so he thought. In the quiet solitude of his apartment, Chike wrestled with the memories of laughter and tears, the echoes of promises once made. He wondered if the riches and glitz could ever fill the void left by genuine love. In his heart, he felt the beginnings of a regret that would not soon fade. Fate had a way of revealing hidden truths. Chike's childhood friend, Amaka, visited the village and, upon returning to the city, casually mentioned seeing Amaka with a child. Chike's heart pounded. Could it be? Doubt and curiosity gnawed at him. He needed to know the truth. If the child was his, he had abandoned not just Amaka but his own flesh and blood. Guilt overwhelmed him, and for the first time in years, he felt truly lost. The revelation about Amaka and the child haunted Chike. He could no longer focus at work, and his relationship with Adeoa worsened. He finally made a bold decision. He had to find Amaka and his child. He took a leave from work and traveled back to Umweka. His arrival stirred whispers among the villagers, who still remembered how he had left Amaka in tears. He sought out Amaka for guidance, but the news was shocking. Amaka had moved away a year ago. No one knew where she had gone. Determined, Chike vowed not to stop searching. He felt an ache in his heart, knowing he had wronged Amaka, and now, he might never get the chance to make things right. Amaka had relocated to a neighboring town to start afresh. Life as a single mother was tough, but she worked tirelessly to provide for her son, Chike. He was the light of her life, and she made sure he never lacked love, even if they struggled financially. Despite the pain Chike had caused, Amaka never spoke ill of him to their son. She wanted Chike to grow up with a pure heart, free from resentment. She focused on her small business, selling handmade crafts, and found comfort in the simple joys of motherhood. Meanwhile, Chike's search intensified. He traveled from town to town, asking about Amaka, hoping for a clue. His heart grew heavy with regret, but he refused to give up. He needed to find her, not just for himself, but for the son he never knew he had. Chike's journey had taken him to distant towns and quiet villages, each step burdened with remorse and determination. While speaking with a local trader in a bustling market, he heard whispers of a compassionate woman who had built a new life after hardship. The rumor spoke of Amaka, who had settled in a peaceful town not far from where he now stood. The news filled him with cautious optimism. The possibility of redemption through finding Amaka kindled a spark within him that he had long thought extinguished. His mind raced with memories of her gentle smile and the warmth of her touch, urging him to move forward despite the weight of his past. In that moment, every regret he had carried transformed into a drive to reclaim the lost pieces of his soul. Chike knew that no matter how far he had strayed, the hope of love and forgiveness was not entirely lost. Every mile Chike traveled deepened his internal struggle. On quiet country roads under starry skies, his thoughts revisited the painful choices of his youth. Each memory of Amaka's tearful goodbye reminded him of the life he had abandoned and the child he might never know. At night, when the world was silent, his remorse spoke to him in soft, haunting whispers. He recalled the days of carefree youth with Amaka, how their laughter had filled simple moments with joy, and now, how those memories stung like a bittersweet symphony. His heart was heavy with the realization that true wealth was never measured by riches, but by the love he had so recklessly discarded. Despite the despair, Chike pressed on, driven by the need to confront his past. In a small roadside cafe, Chike met an old family friend who remembered the days when love was pure. The friend recounted tales of Amaka's unwavering strength and the sacrifices she had made for her son, Chike. This intimate portrait of Amaka stirred something profound in Chike. He saw not just a woman scorned, but a mother of immeasurable courage. The conversation turned to the choices that had defined their lives. Chike listened, the weight of his actions becoming painfully clear. The regret he had tried to bury now surged forth as he realized the extent of the pain he had inflicted on those he once loved. Determined to atone, he promised himself that he would face the consequences of his past misdeeds and learn from them. Every word of remembrance from his friend became a stepping stone on his journey to seek forgiveness. After days of tireless travel and endless questions, Chike arrived at a village tucked away in a valley, a place said to be a haven for those seeking a fresh start. Here, life moved at a gentle pace, and the villagers were known for their kindness and solidarity. Rumors of a nurturing woman who had transformed hardship into strength led him to this quiet retreat. Walking along narrow, winding paths, he searched for any sign of Amaka. The scent of fresh earth and blooming flowers filled the air as he met villagers who spoke with soft smiles and knowing eyes. Each conversation, laden with subtle hints and heartfelt memories, further illuminated the remarkable transformation of the woman he once left behind. One brisk morning, as the sun rose over the horizon, Chike's persistence was rewarded. In a small, sunlit square, he saw her, Amaka, standing by a modest stall adorned with handmade crafts. The sight of her, resilient and radiant despite life's hardships, brought tears to his eyes. Time appeared to slow as they locked eyes. Amaka's expression was guarded, a mixture of sorrow, defiance, and lingering love. In that moment, the years of separation, regret, and silence melted away, replaced by an unspoken recognition of what was lost and what could still be salvaged. Chike hesitated before stepping forward. Every heartbeat echoed with apologies unspoken, and as he finally approached her, the air was filled with the promise of a long overdue reunion, a delicate bridge connecting past mistakes with future hope. In the quiet aftermath of their reunion, Amaka invited Chike to sit under a sprawling mango tree, a place where many truths had been shared over whispered winds. With measured calm, she revealed the life she had built in his absence, the joys and struggles of raising Chigazi, her son, whose eyes sparkled with hope despite their challenging beginnings. Chike listened in stunned silence as Amaka recounted the sacrifices she had made, the loneliness she had endured, and the resilience that had carried her through each hardship. Every word was a painful reminder of his past negligence. The revelation struck him with the force of a tidal wave, converging the enormity of his actions, the love he had discarded, and the new life he had lost. It was here, under that ancient tree, that he truly understood the depth of his regret and the urgency of seeking redemption. In the days following their reunion, Chike struggled with the reality of his new existence. The town buzzed with quiet gossip, and though some saw his return as an act of repentance, others remained skeptical of his intentions. The road ahead was shrouded in uncertainty, and every step was met with the weight of his past. Amaka, too, grappled with conflicting emotions. The wounds of betrayal were still fresh, and the trust once given so freely was now a fragile relic of the past. Yet, amidst the uncertainty, there was a flicker of hope that perhaps love could be mended, even if it required time and unwavering commitment. Both realized that the future they envisioned could only be built on honesty and hard work. As time moved slowly, Chike dedicated himself to earning Amaka's forgiveness. He spent his mornings helping in her modest craft store, and his evenings were filled with long walks where they talked about life, loss, and the elusive nature of second chances. Each shared moment was a step toward rebuilding the trust that had been shattered. Amaka watched him closely, her heart a fortress of cautious hope, seeing sincerity in his eyes and genuine remorse in his words. Their conversation slowly shifted toward plans for the future. They spoke of small dreams, a shared home, a future where their son could know the love of both parents, and a community where forgiveness was not a rarity but a way of life. Days turned into weeks, and with each passing moment, the distance between regret and forgiveness began to narrow. Chike became a constant presence in Amaka's life, assisting with chores, sharing quiet meals, and offering sincere apologies that resonated with the quiet strength of his remorse. In turn, Amaka slowly allowed herself to accept his presence. The initial coldness in her gaze gave way to tentative smiles as she saw his actions mirror the words he spoke. Their shared moments became a ritual of healing, an unspoken agreement to mend the past, no matter how deeply rooted the scars. Each day brought new challenges, but also new opportunities to learn and to love. One crisp autumn day, the true test of their renewed connection arrived when Chigazi, now a curious and gentle boy, looked up at Chike with innocent eyes. The child's presence was a living reminder of the past and the future intertwined. Chike approached the boy with humility and warmth, determined to become the father he had once thought he could escape. Gradually, Chigazi's initial shyness gave way to tentative trust as they shared quiet moments, reading under a tree, sharing simple meals, and exchanging smiles that spoke of a budding bond. Witnessing this growing relationship, Amaka's heart softened further. The family, once fractured by choices and circumstances, began to knit itself together with threads of love, understanding, and hope. Reconciliation is often a journey fraught with setbacks, and as Chike and Amaka navigated the challenges of rebuilding their lives, they encountered moments of doubt and fear. Old wounds sometimes flared up unexpectedly, reminding them of the pain that had once separated them. Yet, with every challenge, Chike doubled his efforts to prove his dedication to their family. He sought advice from wise elders, attended community gatherings, and even helped rebuild local infrastructure, a tangible demonstration of his commitment to making amends. His actions spoke louder than words, and slowly, the community began to see him in a new light. Amaka, too, found strength in her own resilience, recognizing that forgiveness was not a surrender but a courageous step toward reclaiming her happiness. As the seasons changed, so did the bond between Chike and Amaka. Their shared experiences had woven a tapestry of memories that, while marked by hardship, was also resplendent with hope. One cool evening, under a starlit sky, they sat by a gently flowing river and spoke of dreams long deferred. In that sacred moment, Chike made an unbreakable vow, a promise to cherish and honor Amaka and Chigazi for the rest of his days. With his voice trembling with sincerity, he pledged to never again let ambition or greed cloud his judgment, sealing their promises with tears and tender smiles. Their vow was a silent acknowledgement that, though the past could not be undone, the future was theirs to shape. The final part of their journey began with a celebration, a humble wedding held in the heart of the village, attended by friends, neighbors, and family members whose lives had been touched by the couple's story of redemption. The ceremony was simple yet profound, echoing the honest beauty of their renewed love and commitment. Chike, Amaka, and little Chigazi stood together as a family reborn from the ashes of regret and sorrow. In the years that followed, the family thrived in a small home filled with laughter, warmth, and hope. Their vows were a living testament to the power of forgiveness, reminding everyone that even the deepest wounds can heal when nurtured with love and second chances. The end. Kindly subscribe or follow for more stories.